Hi, I'm Heidi with Oni Go Stamping. Welcome to my craft corner. Today I am so excited because I am going to share with you projects using the brand new Butterfly Brilliance Collection. This collection of fabulous products is going to be available starting March 2nd, and I'm going to show it all to you. In addition, I have a great project creating a little book that is the perfect gift to send to somebody to brighten their day. And there also has a little note card tucked inside too. And as an added bonus, you stick with me all the way to the end, I'm going to show you an alternate book that's made a little bit differently, so you get a rainbow spine on it. So you want to check that out too. Before I get started, if you have any questions about Stampin' Up, card making, paper crafting, you'd like to attend a card making class or an event, I would love to help you out with any of that. So please leave me a comment or send me an email, or come on over and join my Facebook group. We hang out, we have fun. I do a weekly mystery stamping event. It is a great place to be, and I would love to have you join us. You'll find the link into the description to this video. There are also links to my website where you're going to find the basic dimensions for today's project and the supply list and just more information as well. And of course, if you liked today's video, make sure that you like it, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. Okay, Oni go, let's get stamping. Before I show you how to create a quick card and then the really cute book that I can't wait to share with you, I want to take a quick look at the Butterfly Brilliance Collection. So this collection has a stamp set, dies, pattern paper, and then specialty paper in it. The stamp set, I say set, but really it's one large stamp. So this is all one stamp. I'll show you what that looks like. Here's what it looks like. It's a red rubber stamp, a cling stamp, and it's just one big stamp of butterflies. And we'll see why that is really cool as we get going. So there's that, there's the stamp. There is a set of 12 dies. Let's take a really quick look at these dies. In the die set, you'll notice there's all these detailed butterflies that are the same size as these butterflies. And then there is, I'm going to take it out so you can see it a little bit better. There is this one large die. Now this isn't to be cut apart, it's actually to be used just like this because, and I'm going to show you this on the project too, but what this does is this will actually cut out all 6 of these butterflies. So this will cut like this, either you could stamp it and cut out the stamped images. You can use this die and cut out solid pieces of cardstock and then use those detailed dies and layer them over top. And I'm going to show you that to create other butterflies. And so this is just a really cool, all 6 butterflies in one fell swoop. And there's another cool thing you can do with it with the designer series paper. I'm going to show you that too. So we set the dies aside. Here is the designer series paper, and this is what I was talking about. We'll see it right here on this first one. I was going to save the trick, but let's go ahead and look at it right now, and we're going to use it in just a few minutes. This die will cut out these 6 butterflies on this piece of 6x6 paper. Isn't that so cool? So we're going to use those a bunch. It helps make this little book go a lot faster. This is the designer series paper. It is a 6x6 designer series paper pack. And that means that there are, there's 48 pieces of paper in the card pack. There are, I think, 6 different designs of paper. Okay, and they are double-sided. So here is the first one, and I'm just going to show you. So as with most of Stampin' Up's pattern paper, one side usually has an image on it, and then the other side is more of a pattern. So let's look at these images. Those beautiful butterflies. Just have all sorts of different butterflies, different colors, and all sorts of fun stuff. Isn't that cool? And then the other side, we have these fun patterns, kind of some watercolory patterns. Just like some dots, kind of a pattern and like a rainbow watercolor cloud effect. So really cool cool designer series paper. Then there is also the specialty designer series paper. And this I did not use in today's project, but I just wanted to show you it. It's almost like a wood veneer. It has the texture, and I don't think you can probably see that, but it is textured just like if you were putting, you know, laminate flooring down. That's the kind of wood texture that this has on it. It's really cool, but it is still like, it's not any thicker than, maybe is just a touch thicker than regular pattern paper, but it's not as thick as cardstock. It's really, really thin. So that's gonna be fun to work with. I'm gonna have to come up with a project for that. But that comes in the collection as well. And of course you can buy everything separately from the collection, or you can buy it all together. So we're gonna start with a really quick and easy note card. And then after the note card, I'm gonna show you the book and show you how to put the book together. So let's start with the notebook for the note card. For the note card, I'm also gonna be using the Happy Thoughts stamp set. I just love this stamp set. It's so cute. Has really great, I shouldn't say it's cute, it's very useful. So it has really great greetings, and then some longer greetings too. And I'm gonna use this, just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way stamp. So let me pull that out. This is a cling set as well. And I'm just gonna put that on a clear block that has some ink on it, but not a big deal. Now I'm using the note cards and envelopes. This is what the note cards and envelopes look like. And they are just, they make a 5 1/8 by 3 5/8 inch card. And they come in a nice pack. They're just really great. So I'm just gonna start by folding the note card in half to start my card. And this is a nice thick, heavy white cardstock. Then I have a piece of basic white that I have cut with the Stitch So Sweetly dies. I have a piece of that designer series paper that is cut 3 inches by 4 1/2 inches. And I have a piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock that is 3 3/16 inch by 4 11/16 inch. And these dimensions are on my website. So you can pop over there and grab those too. I'm gonna start with some Bermuda Bay ink. And I'm just going to ink up my stamp and stamp that on that piece of die cut paper. So just like that, quick and easy sentiment. Now I do want to cut out a little butterfly to put on this. So we're going to start with this giant piece of those 6 butterflies. I'm going to grab my cutting plate. I just want to show you this. So I'm going to flip that over. So I'll put this on here and pull out that large die. I almost couldn't find it for a second. And I'm just going to put that right over top, and you can see it lines up perfectly with those butterflies. And it's so nice. It's so big that the die doesn't jump. Like, I have the magnetic plate on here, but the die is so big that it doesn't jump like it does sometimes when you have little dies that get all staticky. So line that up, and I will run this through my Big Shot. So I ran that through my Big Shot, and now we can take out the die, and we'll see these butterflies. Let me set this aside. I got kind of a mess already going here. I'm gonna have to move stuff out of the way. So here I can just take off this extra sheet, and now you can see I have 6 butterflies that are all ready to fly on my pages. And I'm of course setting those out of the camera. Move some stuff around. So here are my 6 butterflies. Let's get them all off. There we go, different sizes, really fun. And now I'm just gonna glue this whole card together really quick. I don't want to put too many layers or too much embellishment or height on this, because I am going to tuck it inside the book. And with the book, we want to keep things kind of as flat as possible, because it is going to kind of poof out. You'll see what I mean. So just gluing those together, and then this is going to go right on my card front. on that note card. Just like that. We'll put the sentiment on. And then we'll pick out which butterfly we want to put on the front of this card. So let's see, maybe this one. That one's kind of big. Should we go with the yellow one? Kind of offset. Kind of a different color. Let's see. So hard to decide because this one really matches well, but it doesn't quite fit. So let's go with this little orange one. He looks pretty cute. We're just going to add him down there. And that is how quick and easy that card is. So quick. And now I'm going to grab one of the matching envelopes. This is the envelope, and I just want to add some decoration to the end, to the card flap. So I want to show you how I do that. First of all, I take my ruler and I measure the thickest part. So it needs to be about 1 7/8. So I'm going to cut a strip of cardstock that is 1 7/8. Let's see, what do we want to use? Maybe, how about these bright butterflies? Those will be pretty. So I'm going to cut this 1 7/8. I have a strip that is now 1 7/8 inch long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just put some adhesive on my envelope flap. Kind of spread it out a little bit. And then I will glue that strip of cardstock on there, or I should say pattern paper. And really, I just want to get the top to line up because the rest of it we're going to cut. So I'm just going to line up that top just like that. Give it just a second to adhere. And then I'm going to open this up. I'm going to grab my paper snips, and I am just going to very carefully trim around the edge of the envelope flap. So just like that to get my decorated envelope flap. So isn't that cute? Really cute card that you could just send to somebody. But I'm going to show you how we're going to put this in our book, right? So we're going to make a whole book here. Without further delay, let's take a look at the book, and I'm going to walk you through page by page and show you everything. And of course, don't forget that I have an alternative book at the end that I'm going to show you. So this one has the spine. That's all this Bermuda Bay color. I'm going to show you another book, another way of doing the book that has a rainbow spine. But let's start with this one. So you can see that I have the front, I have a butterfly on the front here. I've embossed the happy thoughts and cut it out. And you can just untie the ribbon and open this up. And we have that greeting again on the inside from the happy thoughts. These greetings are from the Well Said stamp set. And you can see this little piece over here pulls out. You could write a message on there, or a quote, or put a photo. And then that just slides back in like that. And then the next page. And this is from the Ridiculously Awesome stamp set. And this is the Well Said stamp set again. And we have this one. And this pulls out. And again, you could write a message or put a little photo on there. And this stamp is from, let me look. It is from the Love of Leaves stamp set. And then over here we have a little greeting from the Dragonfly Garden stamp set. So isn't that cute? I did add just a little bit of dimension here, but you'll see most everything is pretty flat because it does get kind of thick. And then in the back we have some more, and you'll notice that these butterflies are actually stamped, and I have colored them with my Stampin' Blends. And this is that envelope right there. So if I open this up, I can pull out my card, and you can see I have that same note card right there in the back. So you could write a whole message. You could tuck a gift card or something in there. Just a perfect little spot to put, you know, something personal. So I'll just tuck that back in, and that just slides right back in there. So really fun. Let's look at how I made this. Now, I'm going to show you the various pieces. Again, the basic dimensions are on my website. I'm not going to go through and show you every single page. You can kind of decorate the pages how you want. I just want to show you how to make the basic book. So let's start. I have a couple of pieces of very thin chipboard, and these are 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then I have 2 pieces of the designer series paper, and these are 6 inches by 4 1/2 inches. And then I have 10 sheets of various colors of cardstock. Okay, I have Mango Melody, Calypso Coral, Magenta Madness, Mint Macaron, and Bermuda Bay. And these are all 5 1/8 by 3 5/8. And you could use different colors. That's just what I chose. And I chose this based on, so what I did is I looked at all the different colors that were in the Butterfly Bijou Designer Series paper that matches the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set. And I pulled them out and I looked at them because there's like 8 or 9, maybe more colors that are there. And I kind of chose which ones I thought went well together. Now you will notice Magenta Madness and Calypso Coral maybe don't look so great together. But for some reason, once you put them in that whole rainbow, it just kind of works. So it is in there. So we have 10 sheets of that. And what I'm going to start by doing is I'm going to take the chipboard, and I'm going to take this cover and my glue, and I'm going to put some glue on the chipboard, and I'm going to glue that down right just in the center of my designer series paper. And we're going to do that with both of these. So this is going to make the 2 covers. I just want to give it a little bit of stability. So there we go. And then we're going to fold in the corners. So I'm going to fold in these corners just like this. And I'm going to take my bone folder and just give them a good crease. And they don't have to be perfectly square. I'm just kind of trying to square them off, but they don't have to be perfect. Just fold them in. There we go. And one more. And there's my 4 corners. And now I want to start by adhering these 4 corners down. I'm actually going to use some Stampin' Seal Plus for this. And I might use Stampin' Seal Plus on this whole thing, but I happen to be running out. And I'm just afraid that I would not have enough to do the whole book. So I'm just going to do the corners with the Stampin' Seal Plus. So put that right there. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and I am just going to run this down the crease. And this is just going to help us fold the sides in. So I'm going to do this on all 4 sides. Okay. Now I have a bunch, I'm going to pull these out. I have a bunch of binder clips here. Binder clips make great little clamps. So we're going to use those to clamp shut the book. Or not the book, we're not shutting the book, but clamp the edges down. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on there. And then I'm going to fold it over. And again, I'm just going to use my bone folder and get a nice fold on this. And I'm going to clamp I'm going to clamp this edge down. Now when I do this myself, I kind of do the two edges and then I let it sit and dry because it is a little bit hard to come in here. So normally when I do this myself, I hang this clamped edge off the side of my table. But I can't do that on screen because you wouldn't see what I was doing at all. So we'll just put a little bit more adhesive on this side and fold that edge in too. And I can come back with my binder clip clamps and clamp down this edge. And we will do this on all 4 sides. So I'll let that dry and I'm going to work on the other one. While the first side was drying, I went ahead and glued the second side, and as I finished, I took the binder clips off the first side and put them on the second side. So it doesn't take very long for it to dry, just the time that you're using to do the other one, it will dry. Once I have that done, I'm going to work on the spine to my book, and I have a piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock, and this is 7 inches here by 5 1/4 inches. I have scored it at, I don't know if you can see that, but on either side it's scored at 1 inch and then it's scored every 1/2 inch. So it's scored at 1 inch, 1 1/2, 2, 2 1/2, 3, 3 1/2, 4, 4 1/2, 5, 5 1/2, and all the way to 6. Okay, so we have 1 inch here and then a 1/2 inch in each of those. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to accordion fold this. So I'm just going to start by folding the first one. And then we'll fold the second one back. And of course, I'm giving this a good crease each time. So I have accordion folded this whole piece. You can see just what it looks like. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to glue this down to the cover of my book. So I just want to put some glue on here. And then this just gets glued right here on the edge. So the folds are out. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and just clip this down so it will stay in place and dry. It's just like that. And then we'll take all the clips off the other cover. And we will glue this on the other side. So there we go. And let's hope this is dry already because I want to be able to line this up, make sure that it's nice and straight. I'm going to end up with some sticky fingers when I do this. All right. I'm just going to put this in here. Oops. And this is really the easiest, is to hold it down and just get those two covers to kind of line up and make sure everything's just kind of straight. There we go. Yeah, we'll just hold this for a minute. So this you just want to hold for a few minutes and let it really adhere. And once that's good to go, I'm going to grab some Bermuda Bay pieces. And again, these are 5 1/8 by 3 5/8. And I'm going to put one of these on both the inside and the outside covers. I kind of want to get a little bit closer. I don't want to get too much because I don't want the glue to come out the edges, but I kind of want to get in these corners a little bit. So this will just go right over top. Cover up the rest of our chipboard. Just like that. And then I have a second one that's going to go in the front. And there is our basic book. Now we're going to add the rest. I'm trying to think, what do I want to do? Actually, what I want to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm actually going to glue the spine. You could leave this loose, but it will make your book very kind of floppy. So I just glued all of these spines. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue in each one. And then we will take this whole thing and smush it closed now. And we'll wipe off any off the edges. Let's see if I can, really need to get a little bit bigger binder clips for this, but we'll go ahead and get those on there. And we'll give that just a minute to dry up a little bit. Let me show you what I did on the front. So you'll notice on the front cover, and I'm not going to show you this whole thing, but I want to show you this butterfly. So I showed you how I cut out the images of the butterfly from the designer series paper. You can also just cut a flat butterfly, right? And this is So Saffron cardstock. And then I cut those detailed. I used one of the detailed dies. You can see how they match up. I cut that out of basic black. Now to give this just a little more depth to it, I am going to take my So Saffron. I'm going to grab my blending brush and some Mango Melody ink. And I'm just going to rub this in my ink, get it inked up, tap it off on a clear block. And then I just want to come in and ink up the edges. I don't want to cover the whole thing because I want to leave some of that So Saffron, that light. I just want to make the edges a little bit darker. And I, of course, am doing this on my silicone craft sheet so that if you do it on paper, the paper tends to kind of eat up all the ink. This will help make your ink go a little bit further. I do want a nice Mango Melody edge on there. I can even pick it back up off the silicone craft sheet. So just like that. Isn't that pretty? And now when we put that black over, it's just going to look really, kind of give it a lot of depth to it. Put away my silicone craft sheet. And I'm just going to glue the butterfly in the center, just on his body. Putting just a little bit of glue on his body. I'm going to let the wings kind of flap free so they can float up. And I'm just going to put him together like that. Doesn't that look so pretty? Those variations on the color that blending on the edges does. I just love that. So you can see that on the front of the book. All right, I bet this is dry enough that we can hopefully put our pages in. So take off those clips, and now we can pop these open. And I went through and just kind of opened them all up, gave them a good open so they're ready to be pages, right? Then what I want to do is I have another Bermuda Bay. And then I have 10 of these. So I'm going to grab the next two. I'm going to grab a Bermuda Bay one, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue right on this edge of the spine. So I'll put that down and slide the Bermuda Bay right in there. Now when I did this, I actually decorated the pages first, and then I put the book together. But to show you, I'm not going to decorate all the pages and all that. So I just wanted to show you could put this together as a blank book and then decorate the pages afterwards, or put it together with decorated pages. So once I have that in, then I'll add a little bit more glue to the other side of the spine, and I'll put glue on that piece of Bermuda Bay. And now I'm going to add a piece of mint macaron right over top. And I'm going to try hard to kind of line up the edges, because those two are going to adhere together and make one page. Just give them a little bit of pressure so they stick. Ooh, and I'm getting some glue coming out. Wipe that away. I should have some baby wipes or something for wiping off my fingers, because they're getting very gluey. I'm going to do another mint macaron one on the other side. So I'm just going to lay this on here and get it lined up. And then add a little bit of glue right here. And we'll put that spine down. Make sure I'm still all lined up. And then I want to do, let's see what color is next. I think we are going to do some Magenta Madness next. So then I'll add in my Magenta Madness. And again, just lining it up carefully on all the edges. Put that all together. Now, remember I have that envelope, so I made that card at the very beginning, right? And I have that envelope. We're going to add the envelope back here to the back in just the exact same way. I want to show you real quick though how I kind of decorated the envelope, because it's a little bit different, but you can see, so now you can see all those pages are in there, and you can go ahead and decorate those pages. So let me show you this envelope. So I have the envelope. Normally I would probably do the decoration to the envelope before I put that back on, but I wanted to show you that first. So we're just going to do it this way. I have my Stamparatus. I'm just going to put one plate in. And the Stamparatus is really good for this Butterfly Brilliance stamp set. Since it's so big, it is perfect for stamping it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my envelope in there, and then I'm going to put these butterflies, and I'm going to just kind of move them a little bit. They don't have to be straight. I kind of angled them, so I'll just put those right in. I'll pick them up with the Stamparatus. And then I'm going to take my Memento black ink and just ink up all of these butterflies with some nice black Memento ink. Go back and line up my envelope on that corner again, and then we'll just put this down and give some nice pressure over the whole thing. And that should give us a really nice, oh, beautiful. Isn't that pretty? So, so pretty. Then what I can do with this, let's pull back in my silicone craft sheet. Which of course is getting cat hairs and people hairs and all sorts of stuff on it. So I have that right there. I want to grab my Mango Melody. Actually, you know what? I want to start with some So Saffron. And unfortunately, I realized I really need to replace my So Saffron pad because it is one of our very old felt, our very old felt pads, but it still works. I'm going to go ahead and pick up some ink on there, tap that off. And then once again, I'm just going to come in on the edges, and I'm also just going to try to, I don't want to go over the butterflies, but I want to add a little bit of yellow in between and just lightly rubbing in between the butterflies. Now, of course, you're going to get some on the butterflies, and that is fine. That is perfectly fine. It is not going to make a difference. So I'm just coming in all these spots and just adding some So Saffron with my blending brush. And already, isn't that pretty? And then we'll put the So Saffron away, and I'm going to grab the Mango Melody again. And I just want to do the very edges, just the edges of this. Let me grab some Mango Melody ink. And I got a lot. So I'm going to really mostly do this kind of off and just come in here to the very edges and do this. And we'll come back after I've kind of worked off some of the ink. I'll probably come back in and push it towards the center a little bit more, but I just want to do, you know, just the edge, just get a little bit darker on the edges. And I'm probably getting ink on the back. Yeah, I am. So here I'm actually going to switch and do this right on the paper, so the paper will absorb the ink and I won't get it on the back of my envelope. So now I'll just come back in and blend that out a little bit further. Then when I had that all done, when I had all that color in between the butterflies done, I came in with my Stampin' Blends and I colored it. And I'm not going to color this whole thing. I'm not actually going to color any of it. You can watch me color on other videos. But I came back in with my Stampin' Blends and I used a couple different colors. I'll show you. I used a couple different colors on each one. Mango Melody, Calypso Coral, you know, all the colors from this. This is actually some Seaside Spray with the Bermuda Bay because I was using what I had. Mango Melody, no. Calypso Coral, and I actually used the Melon Mambo on this because, again, that was the color I had and it matched well enough. So you can see I just colored all of those. And then what you can do when you have that all ready, you can come back to your book and we're going to add this just like you added the other pages. So we'll just add some ink. Not ink. We'll add some glue along the spine here. Just come on. Just like that. And then this is going to be, so we want the flap to be on the outside so we can open it up and put our card in there. And we'll just close that right up and hold that in place, and that will be our last our last page. So when you open it, you have that envelope right in there, and then you can get to the card from the other side. So then all I did was I tied some ribbon around it, and you'll notice on the back here I did a panel here as well. And these panels are 3 by 4.5. And then the Bermuda Bay is 3 3/8 or 3 3/16 by 4 11/16. And I put the ribbon on first and then put the panel over it. And that really helps secure that ribbon on there. So you're not going to lose it. So that is how you put that book together. Now I promised you to show you another book with a different way of putting it together that creates a rainbow spine instead. So let me show you that. Here it is, and you'll see it's really flat because I haven't filled it yet. But you can see it has this rainbow spine to it instead of being all one color. And I'll open this up. In this one, I forgot to put the ribbon down. So you can see how now this ribbon is really, really floppy, hardly on there. So that's why I really like to put it under that back panel. And it's actually part of the reason I usually put the back panel on so that there's something there to hold it. So here, once again, you can see you can open it and have the different colors all inside there, just like that. So what I did here is that instead of having a separate spine piece, you can see basically I just made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different little cards. And these are all, let me tell you what size these are. These are 5 1/8 by 7 1/4 inch. And they are scored at 3 5/8. So they're the same size as these note cards, right? So you could actually get the note cards in an envelope and just use the note cards to do this if you wanted to. You could totally do that. Now with this type, you get the rainbow spine, but you can't, there's not a good way to put in an envelope. You could take the envelope and you could just adhere it to the page and that would work. But it's not in there the same way as the other one. There you have that alternate book, right? And I have an alternate card for you too. So there's a pink card. And then I showed you, how to put this book together. And then here is this whole book again with that happy thoughts and all those different sayings. And you could do, all sorts of inspirational things depending on who you were sending it to and why you were sending it to them. Thank you so much for joining me today. Wasn't that a fabulous book? And oh, that new Butterfly Brilliance Collection, you are going to want it because it is fabulous. If you have any questions or you need help ordering, please leave me a comment or send me an email. I'd love to help you with that. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure that you like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and come back and see me for more tips, techniques, and inspiration. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.